The world economy is collapsing. But the good news is the number one investment that everybody in the world can afford is silver. Everybody. And that's the good news. But will most people buy it? No, they'll save money instead. And they'll save money in spite of the fact that they're printing trillions of it. And the reason I say it is the number one. I mean, let's say I can buy today even a silver eagle or a silver buffalo or silver bar. I'm paying about 20 to 25 bucks. Now, everybody in the world can afford 20 to 25 bucks, but very few people know about it. I became a silver bug in 1964. I was 17 years old. In 1964, I was holding up a dime, and then the dime had copper on it. I'm like, shit's going on here? And I didn't know this at the time because I'm only 17 years old. I'm a surfer kid, flunking out of high school and all this. I'm looking at this dime going, and then I saw the quarter had copper around it. And then back then we had $50, and I saw this copper around it. I'm going, something's on here. But it took me years to find out later on that I was looking at Gresham's Law. And Gresham's Law states when bad money enters the system, good money goes into hiding. So at 17 years old, I used to caddy, and I go and take golf clubs, carry golf clubs around. And I go to my bank and I would buy silver dimes and quarters, not nickels. And then I'd look for all the ones with a copper on them and I'd throw it back in the bag and take it back to the bank. But I kept all the silver coins. Again, that's Gresham's Law. Gresham's Law is in full force right now. Bad money is pumping into this system. And all these idiots, it's called financial stupidity. They're saving dollars. You got to be kidding me. And they're printing so much money. And the beauty of silver, let me say it again. Everybody in the world can afford 20 bucks, or you can afford a dime. You can go to a coin store and say, I'd like a 1963 dime. You might pay $1 for it. But that's how stupid people are. They don't realize that silver has not only been an industrial metal, but it's also a monetary metal. It's been used as, payments for years and years and years. So I was 17 years old going to that. And it took me to 1972 when after Nixon took the dollar off the gold standards. And now what's going on there? And if you read my books, I talk about flying. I was a Marine pilot in Vietnam. I flew behind enemy lines because the NVA, North Vietnamese Army, overran the position of the gold mine. But I was such a gold bug, I flew behind enemy lines and tried to negotiate gold at a better price. And back then, gold was it went from 35 to 50. And I write about it. I'm standing in front of this little woman, Vietnamese woman with red teeth because they chewed betel nuts. and my co-pilot and I, we're both college graduates. And I said, I'll take gold at a discount. She just looked at me. I said, it was 35 to 50. I thought maybe she'd sell it to me for 40. And with a little red tea, she goes, spot. Spot is the price of that product all over the world. Mm-hmm. So that's why I've always recommended gold and silver, because it's universal. It's global money. Also, gold and silver are God's money. It wasn't printed by the Federal Reserve Bank or the Bank of England or the Bank of Tokyo. Gold and silver were put here by God. I'm not really religious, but they're on the periodic table of elements, I forget what's gold's something and silver 74 or something like that. So that's why I recommend gold and silver. And I think it's the biggest bargain. It's still about 20 bucks. I was buying silver at 50 bucks. Everything else has gone up. Even gold's gone up. But silver stays depressed. And if you don't take advantage of this, they're idiots. And there's one more big thing about silver. It's consumed. Gold is not consumed. It's stored. They stack they stack gold. They burn silver. As I said in Rich Dad Poor Dad, came out 25 years ago, savers are losers. And these idiots are still saving money. And the Fed is printing it like crazy. The English pound almost went down. The Japanese yen is about to take a dive. China is in serious trouble because they have the biggest real estate bubble in the world. And people and the Fed has been printing trillions of dollars, and people are still saving money. You've got to be crazy. The biggest investment bargain in the world is silver. You can buy a silver for about $20 US. $20. Everybody in the world can afford $20. Even a beggar on the street makes more money than $20 a day. You know what I mean? But they'd rather save the dollar. I mean, it is ridiculous.
A walking Liberty $half back in the day could get you a gallon of gas, 50 cents, right? Gallon of gas.
A $half, 50 cents.
Yeah. That same exact coin can get you a gallon of gas today. Not the 50 cents face value, but I could take that walking Liberty, walk down to my local coin shop, sell it for $10 and get myself a couple gallons of gas. This same coin can get me back in the day what it can today. Nothing else can do that. The dollar's lost 98% of its original purchasing power. If you keep $50,000 in your bank account compared to $50,000 in silver, I mean, what would happen?
I own silver mines. I started a gold mine. I mean, a silver mine in Argentina and a gold mine in China. And I own the richest gold mine in the world in Utah.
Wow.
So I'm a gold and silver fanatic. I am nuts on this whole thing. And the Federal Reserve Bank cannot print much more. I don't know if they can print much more. They're going to try to. But everybody who's saving dollars is going to be the biggest loser of all. So that's why you and I speak about silver. I'll say it again. Everybody in the world can afford a $20 silver coin without the premium.
When you have your money, your actual dollars, even stocks, you are a slave to the system. You know, they have power, control over you. When you're in debt, you're a slave to the system.
Right.
Anything pegged to the dollar, when it collapses, you're going down with it. It's like switching seats on the Titanic. As soon as you put that dollar into silver, you've taken the power away from them and put it into your own hands. They don't want that. My favorite saying is, if you can't hold it, you don't own it.
And so my prediction is silver is going to go to 100 to 500 by 2025. That's my guess. The Romans used to clip the silver off of coins to pay the Roman soldiers. I mean, they were screwing, their own soldiers. But that's what the Fed and the treasuries are doing, that Wall Street's doing right now. I was buying silver 20 years ago, 30 years ago, at $50 an ounce. Think about that. It is still half off. The demand's going to keep going up. The demand's going to keep going up, and everybody can afford $20. So pull your head out of you-know-what and talk to Andy Scheckman, Miles Franklin, because he can get silver. I can't get silver from some of my dealers. That's how bad it is. I can't get gold either because people know the US dollar is trash. So it's all fiat. Fiat stands for government. I call it fake money. People are waking up to the idea that money is fake. The US dollar is fake. And that started in 1971 when the Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard. But as I said, it's actually started in 1964. When I was 17 years old and I saw a silver coin was copper, when somebody's screwing me. I'll say it again, back in the 80s, I forgot when, I was buying silver at 50. And I thought I was Donald Trump, the damn thing crashed. So I bought more. And today I have tons of the stuff. I own silver mine, I own gold mines. Yeah. I own tons. Of course, they're in storage vaults all over the world because I don't trust, I don't trust the U.S. government, period. Anything the government can print, I don't want. It's that simple. Anybody tries to sell you a numismatic, I wouldn't say run, but you better get educated before you buy something. It's not bad, but you've got to be really, really smart. The biggest thing about gold and silver, it's world money. It's global money. I can carry it anywhere in the world, and there's a market for it. It's liquid. I can get in and out of it in a day. The trouble with real estate, and I love real estate, as you know, real estate is available for a different reason. It's debt and taxes. I buy a lot of real estate on debt, and I pay no taxes. But I save my money. I don't save dollars. I save gold and silver. Now, if I need the money, I can go to Jerry Williams, American Precious Metals, and I can, liquid. Yeah. I'll be liquid that day. He
Right.
gives me cash for it.
Right.
So that's the liquidity where real estate is not liquid. And those are some of the fine differences. The demand for silver with the Green New Deal and all this stuff is only going to go up, and they can't produce it fast enough. And so it's $20 as the world economy, the English pound collapsed, the Japanese yen is going to collapse, the Chinese yuan is in trouble, it's probably going to go to a crypto gold-backed yuan. But all the Americans who are saving dollars are living in la la land.